What you heard there were rowdy scenes at the opening session of the Legislative Council in Hong Kong. As the 70 members of LegCo, as it's known, were sworn in, some used the occasion to protest against pledging allegiance to China. They used a variety of methods, from unfurling banners reading "Hong Kong is not China" to changing the wording and the intonation of the oath. This legislator used an expletive in place of the word republic and replaced the word China with the derogatory Japanese term Shina.
Being a member of the Legislative Council of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's of China.
Well, I've been speaking about this to Tom Grundy. He's the editor-in-chief of the Hong Kong Free Press.
As expected, it was a bit of a circus with protests, profanity and some shenanigans in the Hong Kong legislature today. We had two Youngspiration lawmakers, a localist party that emerged from the pro-democracy umbrella movement protests a couple of years ago. They altered their oath on the first day of the session and pledged allegiance to the Hong Kong nation. They both held a flag saying Hong Kong is not China, and they referred to China, a sort of derogatory pronunciation used by the Japanese in the Second World War. Another pro-democracy lawmaker, Edward Yu, added to his oath, saying he would fight for genuine universal suffrage in Hong Kong. The Secretary-General, of course, rejected all three of their oaths and told them to sit down. But four other localists added their own opening remarks, or they protested about the city's leader. One even read her oath in super slow motion, but they were all sworn in as normal.
So the three who made this protest initially, are they technically part of the legislature, or was that called into question?
Very much in question at the moment. Nobody really knows what will happen next. It is likely that they may have another chance to be sworn in next Wednesday, which is the next session. Certainly they weren't allowed to vote for the LegCo president, the de facto speaker of the House, if you will.
And there was some controversy around the citizenship of that president.
Yes, there were questions over whether Andrew Leung, the eventual winner, had right of abode in the UK, which is not allowed. So some questions over his eligibility. Amid all of that, pretty much all of the pro-democracy lawmakers tore up their ballots and left in protest. So he had a pretty much unanimous vote and he became the speaker.
So other than creating a bit of a fuss and a spectacle, what sort of effect is this going to have, do you think?
Well, like it or not, with more so-called radical lawmakers in the legislature now, we're going to see more drama like today, I guess, in the coming months. The thing is, the Hong Kong legislature is not that powerful. It's more of a rubber-stamping body to approve laws. So one of the only and most powerful things dissenting lawmakers can do is sort of filibuster and cause obstruction. And, you know, we may see more of the tomfoolery we saw today in the coming months.
There was one pro-Beijing protest, one of them reading out the oath in Mandarin. Just explain the significance of that.
Yeah, I suppose one unusual move on the other side of the spectrum, Starry Lee of the pro-Beijing DAB party, the largest party in the legislature, she actually read her oath in Putonghua, in Mandarin. In Hong Kong, we speak Cantonese. And there are sort of wider concerns about the encroachment of the mainland and Chinese culture, and one of those flashpoints is language.
What about the average Hong Kong person watching all of this? What would they make of today's events, do you think?
Well, many Hong Kongers will certainly be annoyed to see things grind to a halt, you know, so early on. But then again, these new young lawmakers that have been elected have been done so on a platform where their supporters will have known these scenes would have unfolded.
And that was Tom Grundy, the editor-in-chief of the Hong Kong Free Press.